Okay, I'm back.
Hi.
I'm going to play with the idea of wearing both headphones in the ears. Maybe I'll talk more naturally. I want a hot voice.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
That's a deal breaker for you.
All right.
I want a hot voice.
Okay.
I want to have a hot voice for the show.
All right.
Yeah, I want people to look at me and think, wow, that guy's hot. For 31, but still yeah.
But you don't hear someone's voice by looking at them.
Yeah, so sorry. I wish you wouldn't do that to me on the show.
Oh.
But okay, we're past it. And I'm over it, so there we go. Okay, it's a beautiful intro by Slow Smog. That's slowsmog.com, slowsmog.org. Slowsmog.bandcamp.com, or just search Slow Smog, one word, SLOWSMOG, to hear the OG that created our intro song. Let's run it back and hear it again.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
All right. Why not?
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I actually, I shouldn't play that all the way through too much because I do pay, Matt royalties for that.
Every time.
Every single time it plays to the end.
Which is usually twice per episode, but this time you did, you
Thrice.
played it for a whole, more than a second counts as thrice.
And 450 Australian to play that. This is All the Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
My name is Billy. Welcome to the show.
What show is it?
Boys and girls. What?
What show is
this
it?
show?
Yeah.
What show is this show? This advice-seeking podcast, this advice-giving podcast, hosted by Mitch and Billy.
Yeah.
Of Flat Sound and Blossom Enterprises. This is all the space in between, baby.
Zing.
Hi.
Sorry, I said SERP. And I'd like to, go ahead and slap the space bar. Can you hit?
I said slurp.
Sorry, I meant sup, but I said the worst thing, which was slurp. And I'd like to start over. If that's you're shaking your head no, so we're not.
Why did you say slurp?
I don't know.
What were you trying to say?
Sup.
And how?
And that was hard.
Oh my God.
If you have to know, yeah.
Enough.
Absolutely edging.
Enough. No.
This is All Space Between. This is a Device Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Every single week we crunch into your kosher conundrums. We dig through our pickle barrel. God, I meant to say barrel. You know what I said? Slurp. Shit. Did you hear that? Every single week we dig through our email. That is allthespacebetween@gmail.com if you'd like to write in, and we look for some stuff to talk about and give some advice and to do all that on the show. We have 3 emails for this episode.
We do.
And we have 2 hosts that are one of the tiredest podcast hosts you've ever seen in your life. So we're going to not waste any zero.
Okay.
We're going to waste 0 seconds on that one.
Okay.
That's a -1 for me. I'm going to start going the other direction.
Starts turning into a slam poem where they count.
Oh,
you know how
yeah.
they like to count in
10,
slam poems?
9, 8. Button poetry is trash. Can I
But
say
it gets
that?
to 0, then it just carries on into the minuses.
Yeah,
Like, fuck,
-1. They're like, holy shit! People start screaming.
I thought there was a cap on this when it got to 0. The poem was going to end, but it just
no
kept
way,
going.
0. People are just like, fuck, I've never heard anyone count before.
Minus 0.005.
And then some just like someone wearing a bow tie next to me is just freaking out. Absolutely just, oh no, my poem didn't go into the negatives. Oh, what? Mine only stopped at 0. Button poetry's not good. Can I say that? Button poetry is for people who are, I'm not even getting into it. It's such a polarizing take. Button poetry is not fucking good. So
that's not to say no good poets have been
lots
on
of good
poetry.
poets. Lots of good poets. I'm saying the vast majority of poets on there are just doing this kind of a trope, this sort of it's a trope. It's a characterization. It's a Flanderization of Oh, okay. Jacking in.
Oh.
Huh. I'm sleepy now.
Fuck.
I become very reserved and tired, and I don't want to look you in the eye for...
Why are we like this?
I don't know. Button poetry is... I've seen so many on there. So many on there. There's just like... They're the rules before dating my teenage daughter. But I've seen like 9 of those different ones, and they're just... Oh, they're so trash. Everyone... And it's all leading to just some very basic opinion at the end, and people are just... They're just delivered in a way... I used to really like slam poetry when I was... growing up, you know, and it's just it's just corny to me now. It's so corny. It's just so Facebook to me now. Sorry, were you drinking? Were you bored by this? Yeah.
No, I was thirsty.
10 reasons why I can't have this co-host.
You kept saying
what? I kept saying what?
Was thirsty. You kept saying the word
slurp, and it made you thirsty.
Made me thirsty.
Do you want to answer questions this episode? I feel that energy in you right now.
What, that I want to answer questions?
No, that you don't want to answer any questions. You don't want to get to questions this episode. I can feel that.
Correct.
Yeah. We got some good questions. We should probably try and answer them.
I feel unhinged today, everyone.
Yeah, I could tell that. You look unhinged. Sorry.
Thank
you hear that outside?
What is it?
It's a hog.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's a road hog. It's outside my fucking...
It's a wild hog on the road.
You listen to this?
I can't hear it
It's
anymore.
ridiculous, man. It's fucking Bigfoot out there. The monster truck.
Let's go to our first email.
Okay. We didn't say who was doing it. You do the first one.
Okay, well, this one is... Alright, don't even cue up the music, because this one has no subject. And all it says is, peeing sitting down, open parenthesis, like a man, close parenthesis. And then there's a picture attachment.
Jesus.
And we will attach this picture into the YouTube, or Mitchell will attach this video into the YouTube video. Give him a clap. Give him a snap.
Mitch, put it here, man.
And it will also be on our website, allthespaceinbetween.com, if you want to look at this picture, but I will do my best to describe what we're looking at. What are we looking at here, Mitchell? It is, I believe, a repeat offender.
I don't want to look at the pic. It's scary to me.
Okay, yeah, well, that's valid. That's valid.
So, hold on. Just a little bit of backstory.
Okay.
I was born in La Paz, Mexico. Birthed by Magdalena.
This can't be where it starts.
On a stormy July summer night.
This can't be where
you went too far back.
Starts.
Yeah, it can't be where this pic starts. A little while ago, we had a picture of somebody sitting on a toilet holding a Monster can, and we talked a lot about it. And it's this anonymous fucking person. You couldn't really see their face because they have kind of what looks like 2006
emo hair,
but
covering the whole thing,
kind of skater emo hair, not quite straight, but it's there in the front. And we were just like, this picture's from a different era.
Yeah,
he's holding a Monster can
on the toilet, on
some public toilet. Actually, no, he wasn't holding it. It was there in the background. That was terrifying. He wasn't holding it. That's what was scary. He left it there.
We also don't know that this is a he, but yeah,
we don't.
We're assuming that I'm not. Yeah, this
sorry,
is a person.
Yeah, this is it says peeing sitting down like a man. That's
true, but it says like a man, not as a man.
Oh, you know what? I am zooming in here. You can clearly see their genitals, so I can. I'm gonna make kind of like sweeping assumptions from this point.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, I don't think they noticed this, but yeah.
But yeah, there was a whole yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's everywhere. Yeah. It's big too, and not in the way you'd expect. I'm impressed.
Stop. I'm so afraid that this person's like underage or something.
They're just like, I'm 9. I'm like, oh God, why are you writing in? Also, why do you look so cool? And why you shouldn't be vaping? Okay, this is the thing, because the picture's still up on the YouTube video. I can't believe this. The first picture. Okay, let's just put them side by side. I'm gonna try and find the first picture, and I'm gonna put it in here.
Okay.
Okay, look at these fucking things side by side. Who is this?
The first picture, their face is obscured completely by a fringe. The second picture is taken at an angle wherein you could see... Okay, they're once more sitting on the toilet. not a public toilet this time, a home toilet.
A really
Their
nice
face is
looking bathroom
obscured.
too.
You could see their face at the angle. It is faced directly at the camera. Aside from, it is shrouded by a thick cloud of vape smoke.
Vape smoke. And then, to continue painting this picture, there are 3 Catholic candles looking lit for some reason in the shot.
There are 3 lit Jesus and Mary candles. Yep.
And then many cans of Monster, not just the one, and they're unopened. Lots of them just
There's a whole crate
sprinkled.
and the cans sprinkled around. Yeah.
There's not just one crate. If you look at here in the background, there's like this other crate.
That's a mirror.
Oh. All right, for sure. Hey, do you want to slap that?
For sure.
I'm going to need you to hit the space bar one more time.
Okay.
We're going to not
yeah, sure.
record this episode from that. But how many do you count? And I'm not counting because if you notice there's a mirror. Don't let it trip you up because it'll get you if you're not paying attention.
How many monsters do I count?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I count 8.
8 in the box, yeah.
8 and then a box there. There's 8 monster
cans. You missed the one that's in the toilet bowl.
If you'd simply lift up their cock, there's a monster here. Well, you didn't account for the fact that there's another monster in the pic.
Oh my god! Stop talking.
Okay.
I'll lose it with you one day.
They sent the uncropped version, and I'm impressed, and I'm belittled.
Okay. All right. Okay. This photograph has it's such a threatening aura to it. Where can this go from here?
I don't know. I'm gonna take them both away here.
Okay.
It feels weird saying don't email us again because you will. So I guess we'll just hear from you soon.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Also, if they never speak to us, I think that's what's terrifying. They don't ever communicate anything.
No.
They just send us these pictures of them on the toilet.
Yeah.
I want you to at least confirm or deny in your next email that you are over the age of 18.
Okay.
So that the jokes we are making on the show don't make me feel like a weirdo creep.
Okay.
Can we get an actual email?
Can we get an actual real question? Yes. Do you want to read it? Shall I read it?
Which one is it?
The subject line is "You are a spy."
Oh, I got it.
Go for it.
This one is just called "You Are a Spy." And it says, "Hi, Mitchie and Bill." I like that, by the way. Mitchie and Bill instead of Mitch and Billy. Pretty cool. Hi, Mitchie and Bill. I've been listening to the podcast since the first episode, and I'm a huge fan of your everything that goes into it. I'm not really going to go into the detail there. You probably have a better grasp on what goes on into it than I do of our podcast. Yeah, that's fair. So the best I can offer is a run-on sentence explaining my gratitude and appreciation for your entertainment value and for the work you pour into the podcast and your other creative outlets that I observe on a bi-weekly basis at very least. This little clap of an email is kind of a meta social media / podcast question. I remember once listening to one of the podcasts where you talked about branding, growing on social media platforms, and how many people you lose by giving them more to click before they get to the thing that you want them to get to. This is called the funnel, right?
The funnel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. With all that in mind, how come you never put any links to your other social medias in the description of the podcast? Things like Billy's Instagram or that whole flat sound thing that apparently some listeners have never heard of. This came to mind after I tried to find Billy's Instagram to look at some of all the photos you guys talk about, only to remember that I can't spell and I don't know how Instagram works because I don't use it, resulting in an annoyingly difficult journey of wonder, discovery, but mostly misery. Subject line was clickbait. Love you. This person's name XOXO. Subject line was clickbait. Subject line was "You are a spy." So yes, that was definitely clickbait.
Yeah, it was clickbait and completely irrelevant.
Right.
Yeah.
So got us.
I like the idea that someone would have to clickbait us, like in our own email inbox. Like, we read all the emails,
Right.
even the ones that have no subject. So it's nice that you go out of your way to try and bait us
Uh-huh.
into answering.
I usually kind of disregard the subject line anyway, like always. I'm
Yeah.
always just like, let's see what the bulk of it is.
Let's get to the meat of this baby.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what this person has done is they've emailed us saying, hey, you gave this advice. How come you're shit at taking it?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let's
You've called us out as what you've done.
let's get one thing
I don't
straight.
appreciate it.
We are shit at it. Do as
Yeah.
I say, not as I am, not as I do, not as I'm.
Will.
Yeah. Not as I
yes.
will either.
Okay, here's my take. Here's my take on this.
Mm-hmm.
You know on YouTube descriptions,
Mm-hmm.
you usually look at the YouTube description and the first small paragraph, like 1 or 2 sentences, is an actual description of the video, and then a long list of other shit underneath it is like something that's copy and pasted onto every video that channel puts out.
Yes.
And it's usually some kind of SEO searching that's like blah 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 is the CEO of blah blah blah, specializes in blah blah blah, and then they're like you know Twitter, Instagram, TikTok links underneath that, and then whatever other shit is there, sponsors, brand partners, fucking Amazon affiliate links, blah 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 blah, is all underneath that.
Yeah.
I don't think that when you upload YouTube videos, I mean, I know most of your YouTube videos are songs, but still, you don't put like social media links in the description of those either, do you?
No, I barely put anything in them. I'm like, here's a song
Yeah.
I wrote, and then I'll put like a link to that song on Spotify if it is on Spotify.
Well, that's something.
But that's it. And then I'll put kind of a link tree. So not quite a social media link, but a link tree.
You don't put a link
I
tree.
do. And then it has all my
about that.
socials in it.
You don't even have a link tree.
Sorry, I meant my LinkedIn. So, but
yeah,
if people want to work
worse.
with me, if people want to work with me, then yeah, they can hit me up on LinkedIn.
Okay, yeah, look at your references, yeah.
And then hit me up on Instagram, which is linked right there on my linked. Sorry, tree.
Great. Great. My LinkedIn tree. Yeah, brilliant.
My link tree is just one link, and it's LinkedIn. You click it; it's just a 404 page from when I used to have a job. Like, how do you contact this man?
God. Okay. No. Anyway, what I was gonna say is, I am bad at that stuff also, but here's the thing. If I'm posting something on my Instagram or Twitter, and most of the purpose of my Instagram and Twitter existing is to get people to look at my content, not my content, but most of the point of it existing is to get people to look at my website, my zines, my Patreon, my actual stuff that I do. I consider the podcast as stuff that I do.
That you post about on those platforms.
The point of the podcast is not to promote my social media. It's the other way around. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That is my take on that. So I don't have the need to like cross-reference everything like that all the time because I don't see it that way. I'm not trying to. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I was just kind of gonna agree with them and just be like, you're right. Yeah, I'll put in my Instagram in it. But I guess you're right. Yeah, on Instagram, rarely I'll post about the podcast. But ideally, if I were taking my own advice, I would post about the podcast a lot on my Instagram. But what about those people who aren't following us on those platforms that listen to the podcast, that haven't checked out Flat Sound or Your Photography yet, and they just think we're like, I don't know, really funny and hot?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
You can't blame them for that. And I can't. I've tried. Like, I've tried.
I've tried blaming them.
I've tried seeing, and I can't do it.
No.
Oh, and it slips from I get it. I see myself. I look at a selfie and I'm just like, fuck. And he's funny?
Yeah. That voice?
That?
God, I wish it were hotter.
Don't say that. My voice is actually a little tired. I'm wearing the 2 headphones this time to get a hotter voice. I just feel like if my voice was hotter, then I can. Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. This is... He's starting again.
What was I going to say? I think that they're right in that regard, because then the people fall off of the podcast. We can always be there to remind them. We're always saying post more, and then we just post. Though on Instagram lately, I've been posting more. Have you noticed?
You have.
Have you noticed I've been posting more?
Of course I've noticed you've been posting
You don't
more.
like... Sorry, you don't like anything that I post.
That's a lie.
Yeah, you don't like
That's a lie.
I don't know how you can prove that.
I'm going to go and see
You're
right
liking
now.
my stuff right now.
I'm not liking it.
Yeah, you are. You're
not,
liking...
I'm
I can't...
Not, I'm not even
There's no way to...
yet.
Okay, go to my Instagram right now, and you'll see... I bet now all of a sudden all my stuff is liked by Billy.
Well, admittedly, admittedly, I did not like the last one.
Did you really not?
No.
That's hurtful to me.
It's funny because I read all the comments on it, but I forgot to like
it. Yeah, it's weird that you were being a little nosy troll partner and reading all the comments.
No!
Yeah.
Because my mum commented.
Oh, did you do that on your...
No, my mum told me about it. Yeah.
Now, was that... Like, did you not like because you were reading the comments from your, like, toxic side account?
Oh my god.
Or... Yeah, I forget what you call it. Your lurk account?
I don't have a lurk account.
Now you... Wow, it's gone. I can't believe you just deleted it.
Oh my god.
You're so...
I'm gonna kill you.
Fickle about all these.
I liked the one before that, though.
Did you?
There. Yes.
But you would agree that we don't talk about our, like, podcast enough on there?
No, we don't.
Or...
It takes all of my fucking energy to just talk about my photography.
I know. How do I write... Like, I don't...
I should do at least a story, right? Maybe
just
I should
a story.
Maybe I should try and commit to doing like a story every Monday,
week, right? Every Monday, we'll just be like, new podcast is up.
All right, let's see if we can do that.
Sometimes it's a little bit hard for me because I'm like, I'll see the people that view my story, and granted, I'm just like, oh, what if these people I know in real life listen to my podcast? Here's a they won't. You know, they won't click play on a goddamn podcast.
No.
And then they won't make it very far in if they did. And then I'm just like, you know, we're like making jokes about a listener accidentally sending us a picture of their enormous cock. You know, it's bad enough your mom listens, which I appreciate and love. You know, I talked to my sister last week, and she was just like, "Oh, I'd love to listen to your podcast," and I was, "Yeah, sure, go for it." And then I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Just give her the name of a different podcast.
Why
do you sound different on here?
Yeah. Can't believe it. Lady Gaga on the show. Yeah, that was nuts. Yeah, that was really cool of me.
God, that's so funny. Fuck.
That's so funny to give someone like just to search some other podcast that where like the host has your name. And just give that to family members is so fucking funny. Just some like tame educational podcast you know they'll never listen to.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of a move. Because one, you're promoting somebody else's podcast.
Okay.
And two, you're lying to family.
Oh, 2 in 1.
Uh-huh.
2 birds, 1 stone. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Next
back to the question. No, okay. Back to this question because we didn't finish it. Okay. What I'm saying is that's why we didn't link back originally, and that's why I wouldn't bother linking back particularly, because I know people do find our podcast because they tell us that they do. They're like, "Oh, I'm one of those people who just found your podcast and didn't know who you two were beforehand."
Nobody's explained to us how.
Did you find it?
Nobody's been.
If you are one of those people, email us and tell us how, because I don't understand.
I'm hoping maybe it was just a person that was like, hey, you should check out this podcast.
Because it wasn't through what if we've been charting on comedy for the past 6 months and we didn't even know it?
Then we'd have a lot more plays than we do now. Because believe me, I still check if we're charting. And the answer every time is no. The answer every time is this very it's this very obvious and very almost stern no. You're not. It'll just be like, in Lithuania you actually went down 4 steps, and it's like, oh, in comedy.
Fuck.
Shit. Yeah. There's somebody funnier than me in Lithuania. But in like US and Canada? No. Who's Canadian and listens?
Can't think.
Brooke doesn't even listen to our fucking podcast.
I think Poe has a couple of times. Yeah.
That's it though. But that's like, you know.
Matilde listens. She's a Brit, but she's in Canada.
That does not count. I'm talking purebred. Canadian, a purebred Canuck, listening to our fucking show?
I don't know.
We have a handful, I know, but Brooke, Poe, that's most of the population of Kingston, I feel.
Let me finish what I was saying.
Sorry.
I keep forgetting. That's why I thought I would not bother to link back. But knowing that there are people who randomly do find our podcast, like, there's no point in me linking back to my Twitter and my Instagram from my Patreon, because it's like, well, how the fuck did you get here if not from one of those, you know? But considering that that does exist with the podcast, maybe we should. But I don't know that I'd particularly want it to go to our social media.
Or to go?
Maybe our websites? I don't know. Maybe our Patreons, honestly.
I would rather... I mean, Patreons maybe, but, like, no one's signing up. I mean, that's not true, because people have. When we're like, please consider signing up to our Patreon. Patreon.com/flatsound. Patreon.com/blossom. BLSSM. Vowels removed, like that. Anybody wants to sign up, you can. And people do sign up, and that's great.
Yeah.
But only when we talk about it. But if we didn't talk about it and they randomly saw it in the description, are they signing up then just on a whim?
I don't know.
No, but somebody might
know.
follow you.
That's true.
Somebody might follow you. I think our Instagram would be a good one.
Well, I'd really like 20 more followers on Instagram.
Why?
So,
like, what's your threshold?
Because I've been hovering at a number that's 20 off of a round number for a long time now.
What's the round number?
Like a month. Well, it's not even that round of a number.
What's the number?
It's 3,800. It's not that round of a number.
You're not even trying to get to 4,000. I just wanted to hit 800.
I'm still at the point where I have to count every 100.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like once you get past like 6K, then it starts like speeding up a little bit.
You think that
before that it did for me before.
Uh-huh.
But before that, you're really you gotta climb the rungs, like really 10 at a time, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm getting followers consistently, but it's like not moving because I'm also losing them.
Instagram is so, I mean, like,
I'd really love that smooth 3,800.
Just social media in general is so, like, it's just so brutal with that, because you're like, I'm going up followers all the time. It's like, yeah, but people are deactivating, they're unfollowing, they didn't really want to follow you to begin with, they were just trying to get you to follow them back. Like, so much of it is just losing followers. Constantly, just losing followers constantly. So let's just try this as a social experiment, okay? I know that most people listening they probably already know about your Instagram, right? But let's see if we can get a handful of them. Maybe we'll hit the 20. I don't think we will.
Maybe.
But maybe we will. Okay, so listen to this.
Okay.
I'm going to add some effects here so it sounds more interesting. And maybe some music.
Okay.
Do you want to follow Billy Blossom on Instagram? You can follow me too. But mostly for Billy Blossom, it's 20 off of a goal. 3,800. Which is a ridiculous goal. You can do it. You can help Billy, and the easiest way to do that, is just by going into the description here and clicking, sorry, I'm burping, clicking the link that says follow Billy Blossom on Instagram. Okay. Follow Billy Blossom on Instagram, and it will link to your blossom, link to your slurp. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
link
Jesus
to your
Christ.
Link to your Instagram, which is just at Billy BLSSM, right? At BILLIE BLSSM, or do the very convenient thing and go to this very description. Doesn't matter if you're listening on Spotify. Does not matter if you're listening on Apple Music. If you're on our website, you're on YouTube. Go to the description right now and click Billy's Instagram. Hit them with that follow.
Can this potato get more likes than
Justin Bieber? Yeah. Can this fucking potato do it? Or someone's gonna post it on the front page of Reddit. Please, she's so she's so desperate. This is her dream.
No. Once I hit 3,800, no more.
Or
back to
let's
all natural,
see. Let's just see if that works. Let's see if the link in the description actually does anything. I'm not even gonna put my link in there. This first time, I'm just going to put yours in there. People are going to be too tempted to click. They're going to be too tempted to click. Flat sound, what's that?
And they'll see the consistent aesthetic of yours.
They'll see
and
my
they'll
feed.
think, that's a feed worth following.
That's a feed
And they'll
worth
see
following.
the slightly inconsistent aesthetic of mine. And they'll discount the photographic skill that actually went into each individual post.
As opposed to mine, which is just trash. It's just trash that I run through ViscoCam.
Same
filter.
That's what
through
I'm
ViscoCam.
saying. I'm so glad that you finally said it.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to.
But in the off chance that you do want to follow me on Instagram, it's just flat sound. FLATSOUND. But we're focusing on Billy right now. Go to the description right now and do it.
Though for what it's worth, that we do have our social links on our website.
No one goes to our website.
I think they're to our Twitter, which is a mistake. They should be to our Instagrams.
For sure.
Especially considering you're not on Twitter.
I'm not on Twitter
this whole
anymore.
year.
I logged in literally just yesterday to call you pretty.
You did.
Ah, that was cool.
You did. Aww.
And I actually had a great time on Twitter. I stayed, I scrolled, I talked to some people, I looked at what was trending, I answered some DMs.
Jesus.
No, I'm kidding. I didn't do any of that. I logged right out.
Okay.
Twitter's a fucking
I was gonna
a
say,
hellhole.
I don't know how you were having a good time unless you were just scrolling through my media tab, which is the only good place on Twitter.
Exactly, yeah. In fact, yeah, go follow Billy on Twitter. That's twitter.com/BL Billy BLSSM/media.
/media.
Yeah, / or @ media or like whatever it is. Go to your media tab and just scroll and be like, whoa.
You know what a hack is?
What?
A good hack for Twitter would be if you just log in and you just, instead of scrolling the timeline, just scroll my likes instead.
And that's like my timeline?
Yeah. And you're like, well, this stuff's past the Billy film.
Exactly. That's actually pretty good. I'll just see and then I'll be totally caught up.
I'm so scared I've been like people are going to look and I will have liked something weird now.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, plus you're private right now, aren't you?
I'm not, actually.
Oh, are you not?
I'm unprivated.
You unprivated.
I did.
Did all the stuff blow over that you were dealing with? Yeah, you got called out by a beauty blogger.
Why is that so funny to me?
Has everybody kind of forgotten?
Has everybody simmered down?
Yeah, when you left
have the death threat stopped?
Yeah, you kind of left that unsavory. I mean, let's call it what it was. It was a homophobic comment on James Charles's latest YouTube vid.
I would never.
I would never too.
I would never. I love that TV show he did.
Yeah, that 1 or 2 seasons of that little like reality show that he did. Yeah,
it was great.
It was honestly really good. It's a pretty unpopular opinion to like James Charles, and I think to say you and I like James Charles is a big stretch. We don't, but like,
it's a very fucking big stretch.
We don't mind him.
Yeah, I don't mind him.
And that's a very unpopular opinion.
Yeah, but also, I don't want people to think that me not minding him is based on a deep knowledge of him or anything that he's done.
No,
so,
if I learned anything crazy, I'd be like, oh, fuck him.
Yeah,
yeah, who cares?
Just in case, I'm just covering my face and saying that, like, did you know you fucking killed someone?
Yeah. Yeah, and it was kind of like it was a hate crime.
Oh, Jesus.
It was definitely a hate crime. Yeah, it's funny you should say that, being like a Jeffree Star apologist.
What, me?
Yeah.
No, I am not.
Oh, is that not a thing anymore?
Get out of here. What? That I've never been a Jeffree Star apologist.
I'm just in the mood to lie to people.
Get out of here.
Lying is my toxic trait.
I actually know quite a lot of people who used to know him back in the kind of goth scene, LA scene, back in like 2003.
Oh yeah, and wasn't he just fucking awful?
Yeah, he was a real cunt.
Yeah, wasn't he just fucking terrible to people?
Yeah, but he like loved. I mean, this is not going to turn into a gossip blog podcast.
Tell me more. You knew Jeffree back when?
I didn't. I just know a lot of people who did.
We knew him really because I know you.
Yeah.
And you knew blank. And blank fuck too. So go on.
And who tasered whom? Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the most important piece of information that I came away from that with, was that Jeffree Star really likes tasering people. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, apparently that's a thing.
That's all I'll say.
Let's never speak about this again on the show.
Okay.
That's cool. I'm glad we touched up on it for a split second, but let's
Mitch is like, I'm so scared that Jeffrey's gonna sue me.
I hope this isn't the podcast. I hope he skips this episode. Fuck, I hope he skips this episode. Oh, fuck.
Fuck, I'm so sorry.
God.
Okay. Alright. Enough.
That'll be enough out of you.
Both of us, honestly.
To the person writing. Mm-hmm. You bring up a good point. We could be better at it, and we're going to try it out.
We will try it out.
So go to that description, click the link, follow Billy on Instagram, and maybe for future descriptions we'll do the same thing. But, I have been posting on Instagram more, and I'm going to do it more. And you know what? How about this? We'll post about this episode.
Okay.
Well, maybe not this episode. I'm already making excuses.
I will post a story about this episode. I'll do that.
Yeah, but then a person finally listens to it and they're just like, oh, that's why they posted it. This is some social media experiment, some fucking prank, some...
Yeah, who cares? Fucking Cole Sprouse did it. Why can't I?
That's funny. I miss being young. I miss when Cole Sprouse was trolling me. I miss when I thought he cared about me.
I miss when I thought Cole Sprouse was my friend.
Well, yeah, because
and it was
why?
all just a social experiment.
Yeah, because I followed him. Oh yeah, like you guys were mutuals? Go, God no. Fuck no. Mutuals with a Sprouse? I fucking wish. No way. I followed him on Tumblr and I thought he was really about it. Turns out the whole thing was a jump scare.
Because I wanted to jump off the fucking roof.
Yeah, because I was scared and I was gonna fucking jump. At Cole Sprouse admitting that he didn't really care that much about Tumblr.
About Tumblr, yeah.
He's fuck it.
Yeah, I was just kind of trying it out.
I was trying it out, and people were just like, I think you should,
You fucking betrayed us.
I think you should lose your career for this. For making me feel bad.
Are you telling me that you're not really kin?
Don't get me wrong, I'll still watch fucking Riverdale. But
I was watching Riverdale just before we were recording.
Were you really?
Dinner. I still watch it. Yeah,
Why?
It's bad. Well, Cole Sproute's really hot in it. So
he is, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's good. It's good. It's terrible, but here I am.
This makes me kind of concerned that you still have a kind of a thing for men who have betrayed you. Sorry, I'm gonna bleep that out. Hopefully, I'm gonna bleep that out. But yeah, is that like why you still watch Riverdale? It's because Cole Sprouse.
Cole betrayed me back on Tumblr.
You.
Every time I'm looking at Jughead's little face, I'm like, you fucker, you really got us good.
And then you fucking sprint to the bathroom. We got a question to answer. Do we have time? Okay. Yeah, we have time. I think we have time.
I think we do.
Am I reading it? No, you're reading it.
I can. My feet are really hot. Do you mind if I take my socks off?
Yeah. Hold on. Don't. I'm glad you asked. My answer's no. My answer's no. Don't do it. Yeah.
My feet are too hot.
Yeah, I don't really want to.
Look at the socks I'm wearing.
Why are they so thick? It's summer.
It's September. That's autumn. I'll have you know.
It's September 5th. Jesus. I thought it was the 2nd. Oh my God.
Okay, I'm more northern than you are. Okay, it gets cold here.
Okay. Sorry, it's still a no. Don't take. No. No, she's taking them off. Ew. Your toes are on cam. I'm so glad I screenshotted that. Oh, look at that.
Put that in your YouTube video and smoke it.
I'm not gonna put that in the YouTube video.
Okay.
Get a bunch of views.
More views than we've ever. We finally chart in comedy.
Oh my God! Look at these feet.
They're hilarious.
Yeah, look at these round toes.
Okay. All right.
You're reading it.
I'm going to read this.
Just read it.
I got calmed down. All right. This one's called Another Art Pickle, and it goes like this. Hi, friends. Can I call you that? Well, I guess I already did, so there's hoping it isn't too weird. Anyways, I'm in the middle. Bleh. Let me start this again.
All right.
I was reading that bad.
I'm not going to edit that out, probably.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
I'm going to stop the music there, and it's going to be like a record scratch. You know, when you... I might do that if I have time.
I'm going to read more slowly.
Okay.
Hi friends, can I call you that? Well, I guess I already did, so here's hoping that isn't too weird. Anyways, I am in the middle of making a poetry zine and kind of just putting in my favourite old poems and constantly writing new stuff for it as well. I am endlessly excited for it and desperately hoping even one person will want to own one. Here is the pickle. I've only been writing poetry for a little over a year now. I've been a writer years longer than that, but it is mostly fiction prose, so poetry has been a new one. Why are you laughing?
What? Like, can't I giggle at something?
Did I say something wrong?
No, I thought of something else.
Okay.
I've already read the question. I'm daydreaming.
Okay.
Go.
I've been a writer years longer, but it is mostly fiction prose, so poetry has been a new one. I am so insecure in my poetry that it's stupid. My problem is that I'm not the kind of person to construct out of this world imagery with all the fancy words you could have never thought of, and I feel as though my peers are so much better at writing like that. I feel like my own style is very to the point. I tell stories with metaphors for sure, but it's not like you have to fight very much to find the meaning of the words I write. I'm having a hard time being confident in that, and every time I sit down to let beautiful words flow to paint a picture, I end up writing a story instead. I guess my questions are, is a style like that valid or is it just amateur? Am I being pretentious by trying to write in paintings when I'm just not there? Should I cut myself some slack since I really still am a newbie at this? I would really love your thoughts on this, as I think it would help other newbies and not just me, which is why I felt it would be a good idea to write about it. I've also expressed these insecurities to no one, so it's helpful getting it off my chest. All the best, this person's name. P.S. Everyone should join Billy's and Mitch's Discord.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, you have to be a patron, but it is worth all of your money for that alone. But you get cool art too, I guess. I am so happy to be there and have met the best and most talented people that have inspired me to take up this art form. Just a thought. Okay, bye for real.
Wow. Okay, let's... I mean, we talked about it earlier, but patreon.com/flatsound, patreon.com/BLSSM if you want to join either of our Patreons. What? No, yeah, Patreons, and then that'll automatically throw you into a Discord server. Yeah. If that's what you'd like to be in. It is fun, and we know who this person is because they are an active little member in both of our servers. I wish I was
treasured.
I wish, yes, extremely treasured. Very, very cool person. I wish I was an active member in your Discord.
Me too.
I don't even know how to be one in mine.
It's so easy.
But I've been like recording a lot lately, and I just feel like, I don't know. Everyone there just thinks I'm ugly.
Oh my god.
And I guess if everyone in your server called me hot.
Oh my god.
Particularly in yours. That would probably make me feel better. And then I'd probably post more. Don't
say this because I'm so afraid that people are going to do it. Don't do that.
Even if just like not that many, even if just
oh my god,
just like 15 people did it, I would feel.
Okay. All right. What? And then you'll be active?
Yeah, and then I'll be active. Like you have to earn it.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, did that sound too cocky? Yeah, you have to earn my presence.
It did. That's exactly how it sounded.
Right. That's not how I meant it. I'm just saying in order for me to grace you with my presence in your server.
Okay, all right.
You know.
I'm an active presence in my server. So
yeah, people think you're hot. I'm pretty sure they tell you that.
Occasionally.
Have you heard
They don't tell me that, but we've got a little like emoji react that's just the word sexy in like word art font from Microsoft Word, and they'll click that a lot. So I mean, so take that whichever way you will.
Yeah, I just googled it. That is
a joke.
That's a meme.
That's what I thought. Yeah. It's ironic.
That was a TikTok from forever ago.
Yeah, it's like when a really large person is called like Smalls.
Yeah, exactly.
Know? Yeah.
It's that same type of thing. And it's terrible what they're doing to you. I can't believe they're doing it. This person's in both of our servers and we love them dearly.
Yep.
But what on earth was their question? I already forgot. The poetry. First of all, good on you for jumping in and making a zine.
Very cool.
Very cool. Poetry is kind of my forte. Is that a word?
Yes.
Saying that about poetry is my word I don't quite know.
I mean, here's Mitchell proving you don't have to be a wordsmith to be a poet.
No,
so.
I like seriously. This podcast is it's proof. It's proof that I think back to all the Flat Sound fans that must have just listened to it for the first time, which is like, he could barely read. Like,
I think that's cute.
I think that's okay. Yeah, but I work very, very hard on my poetry, and not to be too plug heavy, but if you'd like to read some of my poetry, you can go to myarms.info. Not .com or anything like that. Treat.com. Treat.info like .com. My arms. 2 words. myarms.info.
Such a beautiful website.
It's a gorgeous website, and
you built it so nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tons of my poems live there. Tons of them, and you can read them. See if you like them. See if you enjoy them. If you connect to any of them, and they date back to when I just used to post poetry on Tumblr. Sorry, I'm talking about me a lot. Can we all this space in between.com?
Oh Jesus.
And it's
okay.
Slow Smog. Thank you so much for the intro.
Okay.
New episodes every Monday.
No. Come back.
All right.
Come back to me.
Reeling
Come
it
back
back
to the
in.
question. Yeah.
There's a lot of Monster Energy drinks in this pick.
No, too far back.
Good on you for starting to make a zine. It's a tough thing to do. I know that Billy does it a lot, like consistently all the time, but like you have to consider small things like Billy plagiarizes. Billy like steals a lot of the words,
God.
not necessarily the photographs, but the words.
Well, there's the photographs I don't steal. I take them from Google Images. That's not stealing. that's
stealing.
free.
I paid for them.
Well, they're on Google, so they're free.
Yeah.
They're not. Yeah. It's fine. Copyright doesn't exist.
Also, I think it was like two zines ago, 2 slurps ago. Really, you had that whole zine that you just kind of paid someone on Fiverr, like to take the photos for you. And then you like shortchanged them at the end. You paid them £4.50.
£4.
That's funny. What was I gonna say? Good on you for doing the zine. Poetry is very, like, I don't think you have to go deep into imagery or talk like it's a page out of Stephen King in order to write a good poem. When we do open mic nights, and we have some beautiful poets in the server who just string out these gorgeous things, and I write words, and as my job, it's part of my job to write words and make them as pretty as possible. I listen to their stuff, I get very intimidated, and I'm just, how is this so fucking good? And this person is so young, and this person is like, this is nuts, but my style of poetry is it's much more straightforward. It's not so much this means this, which means this, which is an imagery of this, which is said like this in a poetic way. It is just, this is how I feel in a matter-of-fact way. And there's some imagery, and there's a lot of meaning behind it, but it's very minimal.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's amateurish.
I don't, no. I would not ever call myself a poet.
You're very good at writing, though.
I can write. I don't know if I'm very good.
You're very good at it.
I'm very good for someone who doesn't do it that often and doesn't practice a lot. I'm good, but I definitely could and be better at it if I put more time and effort in. But
right.
Gee golly whiz, aren't I doing the photo thing mostly? Just taking up most... I dropped my microphone on myself.
I'm so happy that didn't unplug.
Still recording.
Are you still recording? Okay.
I am all right at writing, but I'm not a poet. I do read poetry though, and I will say that most of the poetry that I read is not that flowery, and actually I find when I'm writing, I have to overcome this floweriness in my writing that I don't like, because it's left over from high school, when, they give you assignments, and like I was always like A-star English student because I'd be like getting out the thesaurus and using like as many poetic, techniques that I could. Here's a metaphor, here's a simile, this is all alliterated, and this is onomatopoeia and blah blah, like everything in it, and so many words. And also I was goth.
Yeah, also that. Also, I listened to Amanda Palmer, and that.
No, that I actually got into 18. So
did you really?
It's a very late bloomer to
You
Amanda
weren't
Palmer,
like in high school when you were listening to Amanda Palmer?
No.
That's just nuts to me.
No,
I never knew that
I might
about
have known
you.
one Dresden Dolls song, and then I got into Amanda Palmer at maybe later than that, maybe like 20, honestly.
Was it Girl Anachronism?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Mm-hmm.
That and Coin Operated Boy was probably the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Anyway.
So what I was gonna say though is to add to your point though is when you're that young, I feel like high school teachers are very impressed if you pull out the old thesaurus and you're just like, I'm going to use this word instead, and then I'm going to tie these things together like this. But I feel like what they don't tell you when you're young, of course, because they're just like, this is impressive compared to a high schooler that didn't try, and you're obviously trying very hard, and they appreciate that. But a useful thing to tell people eventually is, at least to me, that doing that too much, obviously, that is more amateurish to me than learning to reel it in a bit.
That is exactly what I was going to get to, which is like, that's great for getting a good grade. It's not necessarily great for touching people, for getting an emotion across, for, I think something that comes with practice is the ability to like pare it back and make it more subtle. And I have to really I don't like my writing ever like really the first time it comes out, because it's always too pretentious. It is always too fucking pretentious, because it sounds like I went to Catholic school, which it did.
Right.
It's annoying. It sounds very British, and it sounds like I read too much fucking Daphne du Maurier. But the poems that I enjoy reading the most are usually much more pared back. I can definitely get into the more flowery stuff if it's someone's craft that they've honed, but it can for sure be a flag that you're like kind of making up for something, I think. I like very pared back stuff. I mean, I love your poetry.
Thank you.
I'm trying to think of examples, but like, what's a good example? That one about the two-headed cow.
Huh?
Do you know it?
No.
God. Let me just see who it's by.
Okay.
I'm going to read it out, but yeah. The Two-Headed Calf by Laura Giplin.
I think I do know it, actually.
Very, very good. And it's very short, it's very to the point. Another poem that is stuck in my head like all of the time is one called Gay High School AU.
Nice.
By Merritt K. Had a poetry book that I actually really loved.
Is that your friend Merritt?
Yeah.
Wow.
They published a poetry book a few years ago that I really loved. They do video game journalism now, a completely different field, but their poem Gay High School AU is like one of the most beautiful things I've ever read. It was very short, it was very to the point, but like full of emotion. I was like, I feel that. Oof.
Right.
And I wish I could write more like that. I can't yet.
When you come to me with an outline of a zine, and I love when you're like, we need to work on this today. I need to get my zine out by this time, blah blah blah. But I'm just stuck, and all the photography's done, and that's all good. But the writing, like there's some writing in this one, I don't know, and some parts are really finished, some parts are really good, but the parts of the zine that you're always like, I don't know about this one, is always your first draft before you've reeled it in. And I will agree, it's flowery. It's just, there's too much going into it. And a lot of the editing that we do is, how do we say that with less?
Yeah.
How do we say that with less? So with all that in mind, I don't think, I keep almost saying this person's name because we know them. But they're an active part of our servers. And of course, friend isn't too weird, by the way.
No.
Say it to my face, why don't you?
Say it, my DM.
Yeah. With all that stuff considered, you don't have to be this wordy, pretentious thing, which is not even to say that that's bad, because again, a lot of the people that read poems during open mic, I'm in awe. How did you take such a small thing and make it so big without it coming across as corny or forced? That's its own talent.
Yeah.
And they're really, really great at it. I'm not so much good at that. Maybe the writer is not so much good at that. Maybe they want to get into that, but they don't feel like they have the skill set like locked down yet. So their poems are actually more like this. But I like a minimal poem that just says a few things. My poems are very short, usually.
Yeah.
And I try and have them just be very honest. And very emotional without having to inject too much imagery into them. I guess,
Yeah.
So I
feel like yours do have imagery, but it's not.
I guess they don't have a lot of. There's imagery, there's metaphors for sure, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not too wordy. I guess it's not putting too much of that in it. It's not this long run-on sentence where it becomes this beautiful thing at the very end.
Yeah.
It's very just one emotion, sad all the way through, and hopefully at the end you're like, ow. But that's how I treat all of my art. All of my art pieces, every song, every ambient music piece. It's not too complex. It's pretty simple. And at the end of it, I want you to go, ow.
Yeah.
It's just part of the process. It's part of my catharsis,
Yeah.
So I don't see it as amateur-ish. I think that it's cool to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Which is not to say that it's easy. If you are a newbie, your poetry could, if you don't feel great about your poetry, then work on it.
Yeah.
Because you'll know when it's good. And I think like without being too critical, because you never be too critical, but you should also care about your work more than anybody else. Listen to your brain and your body when it tells you this isn't quite right. And work on it from there. But be happy about your work and don't worry about it too much being pretentious or not wordy enough or too simple or anything like that. As long as you're happy with the finished product, hopefully somebody else will be. Yeah. And don't settle.
I will also say, so one last note, if you're making a poetry zine in particular, this is not a poetry chapbook. It's not, it's not like going into a published fucking collection or anything like that. It's like you're self-publishing a poetry zine. Now this is just a quick side note about zines, which is I feel like a lot of people's first or main experience with zines is mine. Mine are actually not a very good example of what most zine culture is about.
It's true.
They're just kind of the easiest, dirtiest way to publish my photography in a way that I like. But zine culture at its core is about getting things out in a quick, dirty, and cheap way. I mean, mine are cheap compared to fucking printing a photography book.
Of course.
and quicker than, doing that, and as cheap as I can make them while making a profit. But, so many of them are just, people will make them all the fucking time. They make perzines. They're just they're done with a fucking biro and a photocopier.
Exactly.
They're messy. They're like, there's sketchbooks that have been published sometimes, and sometimes they're a lot more polished than that. They've had more thought put into them. But a zine is the perfect medium to fuck around in, I think. So I wouldn't, especially with your first thing. I think a great thing is to just do it. And get it out there and be like, my first one's out of the way.
Boom.
Let's do another one.
Yes, exactly. And I can look back on that first one years later and just be like, wow, yeah, that felt like my first one.
Yeah.
And look how much I've grown in just a year,
Yeah.
But you got to get your first one
now.
Do you?
I don't hate it. But it's not as good as my other ones. Definitely.
I'm so glad you said that, because I was about to agree. So you didn't.
I wouldn't hold it against you if you did. I'd be like, yeah.
I don't remember it. You've done like 50 of them. You have how many have you done?
The one that just came out is the 15th.
15 zines
this week,
since starting your Patreon.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
It's quite a bit.
That's all right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've never put out a single zine.
No.
I've always talked about doing it. Always, always, always. And then
Really?
I've worked and been halfway through zines before when I was
I never knew that.
younger. Yeah, yeah. And I would do like test prints, and then I would scan some stuff, and I'd, put some more poetry in them, and I'd do a bunch of stuff like that, and then just never did it. This was during the Tumblr days,
Yeah.
And yeah, like if you scroll on my Instagram super far down to several different lifetimes ago, you'll see me just like working on zines,
Crazy.
that just never came out. Yeah.
That's so wacky that you've never told me this before.
I know. Yeah, it's like pretty topical.
Well, I guess they never like came to fruition.
No,
so
never.
Like, well, why?
Yeah, I was kind of like, I almost did a lot of stuff. I almost became a rapper. Who cares?
Right, and then me being like, oh, I almost learned guitar. Yeah,
Yeah, right, exactly. Oh, cool.
I settled for ukulele. No one wants to hear that.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm. No, we don't. Are we good on that question?
Learning the ukulele instead of the guitar is making a zine instead of a book.
it really. I guess I'll just do this instead. Well, I don't have very much.
This is much easier and cheaper.
It's easier, and I don't have any money, and
yeah,
there's a lot of resources on YouTube that'll just teach me right how to do this. So there you go. Cool. No, I don't have anything against ukes.
You've always done a book, right?
Multiple times, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you're a book guy.
Like a poetry book.
This is
for
me
sure.
afraid that you're going to step on my zine toes.
Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Probably not a zine. Mm-mm. No way. Not a zine for you. Zines are actually kind of. I think people will start bullying you if you did a zine. You in particular, not me, but.
We should collab one time.
And do a zine?
Maybe.
Like my poetry.
I don't know.
Your photography?
Let me just photograph your hands, I guess.
Yeah.
Make me a fortune.
Yeah, I was going to be like, if you wanted to like hop back on Tumblr, we could just take that one picture of my arm again. And just put that on like a flowery background. Yeah, and brilliant. It'll get, 20, 30,000 notes again for some fucking reason.
And do those notes translate into bills?
They don't, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And if I could maybe get that in the in some kind of crypto, no. So they're worth, I guess technically it can be an NFT now.
It will not be, I'll tell you that.
Technically it could.
Okay, it can, but it won't.
I'm starting to look it up.
No. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it's funny the idea of me being like, we should collab sometime, as if like we don't on basically everything that we do.
Collaborative, yeah, but we should do like an open collaborative
our names
work.
Are not on it, where we're like, this was a shared effort between the two of us. It's just, but pretty much everything that we make the other person help with like a bit. It was just like
more than a bit, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm saying at least a bit. And
I'm saying I write all your fucking zines.
No,
that's what I'm saying. Look, it works like this.
Okay, and I'll say I'll do your fucking taxes.
It's true, and that part is actually very true. And look, if I'm releasing something, you do all the photo work. You do a great job. It's your photography. It's your skills. We'll see you credited on the vinyl a lot. It'll just be there. Photography by Billy Blossom. Blah blah. When will one of your zines say written by Mitch Welling?
Yeah, maybe when I get over there. Let's see.
No. Yeah, that's a joke, by the way. I don't actually write Billy's zines. They're a beautiful writer. And they do their best.
You can tell that you don't write them because there's like the word you in color and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's pretty good. Don't worry about your poetry.
Don't worry about it.
You just got to do it. Put out the first zine.
Get it out there.
It'll be your first poetry zine. Everyone's first zines are like, eh.
Yeah, I think you should write in the style that is comfortable to you right now.
Right.
You shouldn't try to force anything. Yeah, I think the more you do it, the more a more individual style will like come out, And try and read more poetry that is in a style that you enjoy. And that's my advice.
Did you mean it when you said I was more of a book guy, or were you just trying to like flatter me so I stopped saying passive aggressive things?
No, I meant it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That actually makes me feel not so angry, I guess.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, thank fuck.
Saying you're a book guy is funny because I mean, like, you seem like a guy who would make a book.
Put out a book.
You don't seem like a guy who would like have a book.
I've seen a book.
You've had a couple of books.
I work through. I've seen a book.
I've seen a book.
Yeah, there are some books on my thing right there.
Mm-hmm.
The Collapse of the Third Republic.
Okay.
That was a great one.
You read that?
I skimmed it.
Okay.
Complete Manual of Home Repair.
Yeah, how was that?
I mean, it was thorough.
What have you repaired in your home?
I didn't need anything at the time.
Okay.
And the book was written in like the 1930s or something. And it's just kind of like a New York Times thing. It's actually more thick than you think it would be. There is Behold the Glory.
Okay, what's that?
Oh, it's hard to explain. Are you into Chad Walls? Hold on. Stop! I'm fucking reading. Chad Walsh.
No.
Chad Walsh. Yeah, he's got
him.
this. He's got this book, Behold the Glory. That's on my thing. And it's. I mean, it's hard to explain. Oh, yeah, my favorite one. The funniest book to own. The Outline of History by H.G. Wells.
Oh, yeah. A classic.
Uh-huh.
One of H.G. Wells's most well-known works, yeah.
Yeah, The Outline of History. It's pretty thick.
Okay.
And it's pretty dense. And it really just starts with just like, so you're dust in space. And then it goes all the way up until like Nazis.
Wow.
And it covers pretty much everything in between. So yeah.
Amazing.
I lightly read that sometimes.
Shall I read the titles of all the books that I have?
Yeah, let's hear them.
It'll take too long.
Well, read one.
Too long.
Read one.
Read one?
Yeah, read one.
What one?
That one. That's what I'm gonna say. That one right there. But I don't know what you're looking at.
There's too many.
Then pick one. Go eeny, meeny, miny, blank.
Okay, how about this one? I got this one in a charity book, a charity bookshop the other week. It's called. Hang on, I can't fucking see even though I'm wearing my glasses. The
If
Sexual
you unplug,
Perspective.
oh my god, don't stand. You're unplugging?
No, I'm not unplugging. It's fine. It's called The Sexual Perspective, Homosexuality and Arts in the Last 100 Years in the West by Emmanuel Cooper.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's
kind of
neat.
£3.
I noticed when you were standing, there was like you still have your pop filter on your microphone. It's kind of jerry-rigged with what looked like a sock crammed in between the microphone and the pop filter, as well as electric tape holding it all together.
If you saw my microphone held together by a sock and electrical tape, no, you didn't.
Why is it still like that? And why won't you let me just buy you a new something?
Fixed it. Yeah, they don't sell this pop filter anymore because they don't sell this microphone anymore.
Let me get you a new microphone.
Because I don't need a new microphone. This microphone works great. Look, I sound wonderful.
Yeah, because of all the editing, I have to all the EQ. I have to EQ past that sock.
It's fine.
You don't know how hard that is. When I'm EQing for our show, all the space between. My name is Ben Mitch.
My name is Billy. Thank you for listening. If you have an email you would like us to read out on the show, answer, give some advice to, send us an email. Our email address is
all the space in between @gmail.com. And if you like the show and you think your friends might also like the show, please, God, I'm groveling. Tell them. Just fucking do it. Just fucking tell.
Dude. Just fucking
what are you doing?
Dude. I'm so sick of you not doing it.
If you haven't done it yet, I'm so fucking mad.
I'm so bored of you not doing it.
Tell your friends about the show and post on it. You can send them to like anywhere podcasts are found. You can tell them to look us up on YouTube or search All the Space in Between on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anywhere. Anywhere where podcasts are found. But if you would like to take them to our very convenient website, our website is
allthespaceinbetween.com.
Very good.
Yeah.
We still have Small Hog.
We still have Small Hog.
Are we still going to say that every time?
No.
I feel like we say it every time.
I wasn't going to say it this time.
You looked at me.
You brought it up.
You literally looked and mouthed it to me.
Oh my god. I know I didn't.
No, look. You went like this.
Okay.
What about Small Hog? That's what you did with your mouth. I didn't even want to get into this anymore with you. New episodes every Monday. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.